Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now July 27th of 2020, and ever since the release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, a lot of fans around the world have been really intrigued about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney, LUCASFILM, and of course Bob Iger and Bob Chapek, and what they plan to do and what to deliver to the Star Wars fans when it comes to the new TV shows and the new movies, etc. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that they are heading in a better direction, all thanks to Bob Chapek for stripping away Kathleen Kennedy's creative power, where, of course, now they are focusing on authentic Star Wars stories that a lot of fans are very excited to see. You know, we got the Kenobi show coming in 2022, we got the Ahsoka Tano TV series, with her debut as a character in The Mandalorian Season 2 this year, mind you. This October, we're going to see Ahsoka in live-action form. However, one thing that a lot of fans will agree on is that The Rise of Skywalker as a movie had a lot of problems behind the scenes. It was a very messy and shaky production based on a lot of the reshoots and the rewrites that took place both in 2018 and, of course, in 2019, where they later did other edits later on, just before the movie released. Now, when we think about it this way, obviously J.J. Abrams only wanted to do something different before Kathleen Kennedy stepped in and deleted many of those scenes, where a lot of fans really have been very curious about what really could have been for Episode 9 if it weren't for Kathleen Kennedy. Now, with that being said, of course, what's really exciting is that with both Disney and Lucasfilm now finished with The Rise of Skywalker, they are currently focused on developing the new Star Wars trilogy, as well as their new universe. It's described that Star Wars fans have always wondered what could have been for The Rise of Skywalker if Kathleen Kennedy did not interrupt and delete so many scenes from the movie. It's explained that Bob Chapek is working very hard to get the JJ/Lucas cut release sometime in 2023 on Disney+, where one of the major scenes in the third act of the film involved both characters Anakin Skywalker and the Dark Acolyte. Now, it's described that midway through the battle between Rey, Kylo, and the Acolyte, Matt Smith's character gains the upper hand against the two before they fall on the ground, with Smith using the Force to brush away their lightsabers where they seem to be defenseless at this point in time. The streaks of lightning on exegol are described to be used for dramatic effect during the Acolyte's speech to Rey, Kylo, and the entire Sith Eternal, where he is shouting on the top of his lungs a brand new Sith code that has never been spoken before in ages since the ruler of the Sith King. Let me stop right here for a second in case you guys are very much out of the loop. That throne that you do see in Episode 9, it's not Palpatine's. It was actually once belonged to a Sith King that we have yet to actually witness. Now, this is where the Acolyte claims he is now the new Sith King and sits on the throne. However, at this point in time is when small white orbs begin to appear out of thin air, where they get closer to Rey and Kylo Ren. This is when the voices of the Force Ghost can be heard, where at first Anakin Skywalker appears behind a wounded Rey and Kylo Ren, where Anakin begins to give the Dark Acolyte a smirk with no dialogue, mind you, and of course strong eye contact, knowing that he is viewing the very person who once turned him to the dark side of the Force, Palpatine. Palpatine's spirit is within the Acolyte. After Anakin appears, both Luke and Leia appear behind Anakin, where the Acolyte says a simple line, stating it in anger, Skywalkers no more. When the Acolyte begins to charge up his Force lightning and aims it for Kylo and Rey, the Skywalker ghosts block the Force lightning, giving a direct callback to the original scripts of Return of the Jedi when Yoda and Kenobi did the same for Luke. Let me stop right here again, because this is a nice, beautiful homage to one of George's original ideas for Episode 6, where essentially the Force Ghosts of Kenobi and Yoda saved Luke by blocking the Force lightning from Palpatine from hitting Luke's body. Very interesting callback. Now, this sequence, of course, deflecting the lightning toward the sky, where the Force Ghosts do that, where the Acolyte seems to be surprised at what they were able to do through the netherworld of the Force, it's noted that the scene would later involve the Dark Acolyte walking closer to the Skywalker Force Ghosts, where they begin to vanish while chanting a new type of Jedi code that dates back before the Old Republic era, thousands of years before the Phantom Menace. It's said that once they vanish, the fight would continue between the Acolyte Ben Solo and Rey now, when George and JJ were working together, where, of course, there were different versions of this particular finale. And at this point in time, at the very end of the film, and that Lucas believed that this was the strongest one to go with before Kathleen Kennedy stepped in and deleted it. Now, in this version, Rey was going to use her actual yellow-bladed lightsaber in the duel against the Dark Acolyte. In another variation of this scene that was very similar, Rey would only use the blue lightsaber that once belonged to Anakin and Luke. So, with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.